Our top story this hour, speaking at the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly, India says that the United Nations Security Council has become an impaired organ. India says the UNSC is unable to act with credibility, essentially due to its unrepresentative nature. Speaking at the Assembly, T.S. Tirumurthy, India's permanent representative to the UN, also highlighted that the IGN, or the intergovernmental negotiations, have become like a platform for debate in the university rather than a serious result-oriented process in the UN consisting of sovereign member states. T.S. Tirumurthy said, and I'm quoting here, today's Security Council is an impaired organ. It has been unable to act with credibility, essentially due to its unrepresentative nature. But then, what is happening inside of the IGN process, which we seem to be wedded to? He then added, inside the IGN, nothing has moved for more than a decade except hearing passionate statements on the need for reform. The Indian representative also refused to react to Pakistan's statement against India at the global body, saying, and I'm quoting again, this is a forum for serious discussion and not frivolous allegations. India has also urged the global body to be decisive this year and warned that if that does not happen, then member states who want real reform will be forced to look beyond the IGN. T.S. Tirumurthy says that in such a scenario, countries must not hesitate in taking a relook at the IGN process itself. Currently, the 5 permanent members are Russia, the UK, China, France and the United States, and these countries can veto any substantive resolution. There has been growing demand to increase the number of permanent members to reflect the contemporary global reality. Now, India's comments are aimed at China for stalling UN reforms by not allowing the intergovernmental negotiations process to have basic rules of procedure and records. China is also the only permanent member of UNSC that has not supported India's permanent membership to the top global body. All other 4 nations, US, UK, France and Russia, have backed India's permanent membership. And for more on this, we are being joined by our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal. Thank you so much for joining us. What can you tell us about the statements made by India? How do you assess this?
Well, if you look at the entire UN reform process, the intergovernmental negotiations, the informal grouping of countries started the meeting a decade ago, and since then nothing has happened. Nothing has happened primarily because there is no record. The rules of the UN are not applied to this body, and one of the countries that is stalling the application of the UN rules on this informal body is China. While China has been saying that it wants reforms at the UNSC and of course at the UN, it is stalling such basic reform that could lead to, of course, further movement on the reform process. So what India basically has called is that the UN reforms, the UN laws should apply to this body for UN reforms, and primarily called out on Beijing how Beijing has a double standard. And this is not the first time that India has done so. Earlier in September as well, the G4 grouping, that is India, Germany, Japan and Brazil, had called on China to not stall these reforms at the UN. And the entire development coming at a time when India has been calling for urgent reforms. Remember, at the United Nations General Assembly earlier this year, the Indian Prime Minister had called for urgent reforms. In fact, he reiterated that at the SCO virtual meeting that happened earlier this month, and we do expect India's increased focus on UN reforms as it becomes the non-permanent member of the UNSC starting 1st of January 2021 for a period of 2 years. So this is coming just before India taking the seat at the high table.
All right, actually that I was going to come to this next. India has also raised the question on the credibility of the UNSC. Why do you think that is?
Well, if you look at this year, this year is a special year for the UN because it marks the 75th anniversary of the forming of the United Nations after the World War II. But the world has changed substantially since 1940s till today, and there is an increased emergence of countries like India. India is, of course, the biggest countries in terms of its democracy, in terms of its demographic, in terms of its economy, and this is something that the Indian Prime Minister had highlighted at his UNGA speech as well. And that is why India is calling for urgent reforms, saying that the UNSC should be in sync with the global realities of 2020, not the realities of 1940s. And that is why India is saying that UNSC is a dysfunctional group because it represents 5 of those countries which, of course, emerged out of the World War II as victors, and they form the global rules because these 5 countries, Russia, China, US, UK and France, decide the global rules of engagement, whether it's trade, whether it's politics, or whether it is any other issue, including, of course, the COVID pandemic. And we know that India is saying that it needs a voice as well in forming these global rules. And one of the biggest symptoms of the dysfunctionality of UNSC is the fact that UNSC could not agree on a resolution on COVID even after 6 months when the COVID crisis broke in December. It could only come up with a resolution in mid of this year, and that was primarily because of the fight between the Chinese and the Americans.
Yes. Also, another important point here is that India has urged the global body to be decisive this year and has also warned that if that does not happen, the member states who want real reform will be forced to look beyond the IGN. Could you elucidate on that a little?
Well, primarily India is saying that UN might lose its relevance at a time when the world is changing very fast, whether it's the global pandemic. Well, if you look at this century, the first big blow to the global system came in 2008 during the financial crisis. From the financial crisis emerged a body, the G20 grouping, and that body was primarily handling the global economics in terms of all the action. But increasingly, that body also took the role of global politics as well. We know after the COVID pandemic, G20 had met virtually and called for various reforms or various initiatives, particularly when it comes to debt relief for poor countries, especially in Africa. And UN was found missing clearly, and that is what India has been saying, that if UN continues to stall reforms led by India and other like-minded countries, then UN might lose its relevance, and bodies like the G20 or perhaps the BRICS or SCO will get more salience in the global politics and economics.
All right. Siddhant, thank you so much for joining us with all those inputs.